Hey everyone! By the way, this channel is new, and I have some stories from Reddit about service dogs and Karen. Karen S. Karens.
And I wanna give myself to
I just realized why the Reddit Karen stories rub me the wrong way. Long story warning. So first, the stories I'm talking about are the ones about the cartoon villain Karens, the ones who wouldn't shut up if you paid them $1 million, yet they suddenly stop interrupting just long enough for the oop to give a super amazing clapback. Speaking of long, this will not be a short story. I'll put a TLDR at the end, but I think it'll be fun to compare this real story to the BS on Oita, and try to figure out the differences. I knew it always bothered me, but I finally realized why this weekend. It's my birthday today, but I celebrated on Saturday. Went to a steakhouse I couldn't usually afford. Since I don't go to nice restaurants a lot, it didn't occur to me that I needed a reservation, which meant I had to sit at the bar. While I was waiting for a spot to open up, I talked to a black woman named Stephanie. I'm white and this will be potentially relevant soon. She eventually got some bouillabaisse and I eventually found an open seat. It was a couple that left. So I was sitting 2 seats down from the end of the bar on one side. Stephanie was sitting on the 3rd seat, but technically around the corner. I kept drinking my sour, and she kept eating her dish. While that was happening, a couple walked up. So if you know this type of restaurant, you know that the bar is only half for people like me and Stephanie who didn't make reservations. People who made reservations but still need to wait can also kill time there. That was this couple's situation. So the wife of this couple looks at white me, who has nothing but a whiskey amaretto sour and a menu. Then she looks at black Stephanie, who is barely halfway through eating an actual meal. Guess which of us this woman politely asked to move so that she and her husband could sit down? Well, obviously Stephanie said no, as she damn well should have. It would have been rude to ask anyone since going to the bar should mean waiting for a spot there. But it just seemed twice as rude that she chose someone with a meal instead of someone who clearly hadn't eaten yet. Apparently I made a face, because as I was hearing all this I looked to the side, and saw another black woman, Vanessa, just laughing her ass off at me. I talked to her later, and learned she thought she was the only one who heard this stupid conversation, but apparently looking at my face let her know I'd heard it too. I would have told you I hide my feelings great, but Vanessa seems to disagree. Anyway, Stephanie finished her meal before the couple got seated. So, given the geography of the bar, I offered to let the white woman from earlier have my seat so she could sit right next to her husband instead of around the corner from him, like she would have been doing if she'd taken Stephanie's seat. Meanwhile, I'd take Stephanie's old seat, which well, obviously Stephanie said no, as she damn well should have. It would have been rude to ask anyone since going to the bar should mean waiting for a spot there. But it just seemed twice as rude that she chose someone with a meal instead of someone who clearly hadn't eaten yet. Apparently I made a face, because as I was hearing all this I looked to the side, and saw another black woman, Vanessa, just laughing her ass off at me. I talked to her later, and learned she thought she was the only one who heard this stupid conversation, but apparently looking at my face let her know I'd heard it too. I would have told you I hide my feelings great, but Vanessa seems to disagree. Anyway, Stephanie finished her meal before the couple got seated. So, given the geography of the bar, I offered to let the white woman from earlier have my seat so she could sit right next to her husband instead of around the corner from him, like she would have been doing if she'd taken Stephanie's seat. Meanwhile, I'd take Stephanie's old seat, which would allow me to spend the rest of the night talking to Vanessa and her cousin. And that was so great. I could never have guessed when I went out that I'd get to spend my night with That's nice. That's nice up. That's nice OP. Retail workers of Reddit. What's your Karen story? I work at a gas station. Today this guy told me to put his money on the wrong pump. Came back in to tell me to switch it. But to switch it, I have to refund them, and they have to pay for the other pump. He leaves before I can tell him, so I get my manager to cover the line and go out to tell him. He's not out there but his brother is, so I tell his brother that he has to come back and to pay for the different pump. The guy comes in screaming for my manager and cursing me out in front of a line of 8 people for having to come in 3 times, despite it being entirely his fault. Then he calls later to bitch more and call me names, saying he never got a refund despite me having the receipt for it saved to the register. Also had a guy a few weeks back spit in someone's face because they asked him to wear a mask. I really don't get paid enough. Anyone have an entitled Karen story where the Karen actually wins? I do. I was part of a program that was to help people with disabilities. They did not help me. They treated me horrible. I decided to leave the program, and they wanted me to stay. After several rounds of me say let me go from the program, and them saying we will work with you, I decided to stop answering their phone calls, emails, and letters to stay, especially since I told them 4 times I was done with the program. They eventually sent me a letter stating that since I no longer was responding to their messages, they would have no choice but to let me go from the program. I got mad at their wording, making it sound like I was the bad guy. Even though technically, yes, I stopped responding to their messages. So instead of letting it go, I reported them to a disability rights group. Some lawyers got involved and found that technically the program followed the policies and procedures as they were written, but decided that the policy and procedures needed to be rewritten. So they used my case to create systemic change with the program. By the way, it's a government agency that now has to have this systemic change, because I felt they weren't listening to me, helping me, and got petty over wording. I'm not sure I'd call you a Karen in this situation, but I'm glad you were the winner in this story regardless. This is not my story, but let me tell you about this Karen and her salad. I am 16, working my first weekday lunch shift while on school break. We have a salad bar and offer either an all-you-can-eat or a one-trip-to-go salad bar. The one trip costs about 40% less than the all-you-can-eat. Restaurant policy is that when you order a one-trip salad bar, you are given the salad plate to fill up, and then you bring it back to the register where we put a lid on it and bag it up with croutons, breadsticks, and a fork, a knife, and napkins. The plate has slightly raised sides, and the lid is a dome shape that snaps on. You can fit more food in the lid than in the plate, which is why the store doesn't allow us to hand out the lids with the plate. A middle-aged woman I have never seen before comes up to my register and orders a one-trip salad bar and a drink. I collect on her order and pass her the plate and her cup. She stands there and stares at me for a few moments. Me, is there anything else I can get for you? Customer, I need the lid for my plate. Me, oh, I'm sorry, I should have explained. You can go ahead and fill up your plate, and when you are done, bring it back up here, and we will get you set up with your lid, breadsticks, and utensils. Customer, no, I want my lid now. Me, I'm sorry, I can't do that, but I will have it ready for you when you get back. The woman is looking really angry, and I am getting really nervous, trying to see where my manager is, because I haven't dealt with an upset customer yet. The woman glares at me for a moment and then turns to walk away. I breathe a sigh of relief, thinking the crisis has been averted, but she spins back around, slams her cup and plate on the counter, and gives me the nastiest smile I have yet seen. Customer, in that case, I want a refund. I call my manager over, who gives her the refund, and we both wish her a nice day. She doesn't say anything, and just storms out. I explain to my manager what happened. He tells me not to worry, that I did everything right, and that everything is okay. The next day, I am working lunch again, and the same woman comes back. I see her standing in line, and I really don't want to deal with her, so I go a little slower with the customer I am currently serving so that my manager, who is running the other register, will finish with his customer first and be the one to help the woman. Instead, when my manager lets her know he can serve her, she says, "No thank you," and waits for me. Once again, she orders the one-trip salad and a drink. Once again, I give her the cup and her plate. Customer, I want my lid now. Me, I'm sorry, but as I explained yesterday, we aren't allowed to do that, but we will have it ready for you when you are done making your salad. Customer, then I want a refund. I call my manager over, he does the refund, and again he tells me I didn't do anything wrong. She just seems angry. She comes in again the next day, and again she waits, refusing to let anyone else serve her, making sure I have to take her order. Again, she orders a one-trip salad and a drink, demands a lid, and demands a refund when I tell her I'm not allowed to give it to her. After the manager gives her the refund, I ask him if I shouldn't just give her the lid so that she won't be mad at us. After all, we want to make our customers happy, right? The manager tells me not to worry, to just keep following the rules, and that I am doing a great job. The next day, the woman is back. The same thing happens. She waits for my line and won't let anyone else help her. She wants the one trip with the lid before she makes her salad. She demands a refund when I don't give her the lid. I go get my manager and let him know that the lady is back and wants a refund again. The manager rolls his eyes, sighs dramatically, and goes up front to give her the refund. Then, he looks at me after the woman leaves. Manager, listen, you can't keep causing us all these refunds. It makes us look bad. You need to do what you have to do to make the customer happy. I shouldn't have to come up and do a refund every day for you. Me, oh, but I thought you didn't want me to give her the lid. You said it was the rule, and that I needed to keep following the rules. Manager, just do what it takes to make her happy. I can't keep doing all these refunds because of you. The next day, the woman comes back again. Yet again, she waits until she can get into my line, so that she can continue to harass a 16-year-old girl when there are other people who can help her. She orders the one-trip salad bar and drink. I wordlessly hand her the cup, the plate, and the lid. Customer, smugly there. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? You have a great day, sweetie. She proceeded to fill her lid, not her plate, to overflowing, put the plate on top of the lid, and squeezed so that cottage cheese ran all over the edge of the salad bar and onto the floor. A mess that I would have to clean up. After all that fuss to get her way, she never came back. That's it for today. Please come back and sub and like. That's it for today. Please come back and sub and like as you leave. Bye. Have a nice day and bye.